First of all, I want to take the time to thank everybody for taking time out of their day to be here. My name is Jose Garcia. I'm 24 years old and I'm currently a student at Joliet Junior College. I'm currently just taking prerequisite classes, but I hope to transfer to College of DuPage's dental hygiene program within the next 2 years. This is going to be my life in a bag speech for my communication 101 class at JJC. The purpose of this speech is for you guys to learn something about me. I'm going to have a couple objects here that are significant to me, and I know a lot of you guys already know me, but hopefully by the end of this you guys will know something new about me. The first thing that I decided to bring is my Jurassic Park DVD. I've had this ever since I was a kid, and this is probably my favorite movie of all time. As a kid, I remember watching it over and over, just continuously watching it, I guess. I'm not really into dinosaurs as much anymore, but I think with dinosaurs, Jurassic Park itself gave me an appreciation for not just animals, but also wildlife and overall nature. And that brings me to the second object that I decided to bring in, which are my trail shoes. As you guys can see, I use these pretty often. They're pretty beat up, but I like to go on the forest preserves and in the nature trails around the area. My favorite one being Waterfall Glen, mostly because there's over 10 miles of trails there. Not only that, but there's also different environments there. You can see waterfalls, you can see the prairies. There's actually some pretty big hills there, which are pretty rare in Illinois. And I think it's important not only for me, but for everybody to go outside and spend some time outdoors, because it's just a good way to relieve stress. It's also just a good way to, get some active time in your day, which is, I think, something that we could all use right now with the kind of weather we're having. I think everybody would like to be outdoors right now. The other object that I decided to bring is my camera. Photography is not always something that I've been into. It's something that I kind of just picked up recently, and I think it's just a really cool way to share things that you see or experience with your friends and family. You can, send pictures to your friends. You can post them online on Instagram or Facebook. The other thing I like about photography too is that it kind of forces you to look at things differently. You get to look at things from a different perspective, and sometimes you just have to look at things around you more closely, I guess, than you normally would. So it kind of helps you realize that you shouldn't take the things around you for granted, because there's a lot of beauty that kind of goes unseen. And then the other object that I decided to bring in is my shift knob out of my car, because obviously I can't fit my car in my backpack. But cars are pretty significant in my life. I haven't always been into them, but ever since I got a license, I started buying different cars, and I've had about 5 different cars now. I've had a couple different convertibles. I've had a Wrangler and a WRX, which is what I currently own. And the thing I enjoy about cars is just learning about all the engineering and designing that goes into them, and just the entire automotive industry is pretty interesting, just watching how things change over time. But my favorite thing about cars is just working on them and fixing them up. It's just gratifying being able to fix something by yourself. You get to save money as well, because you're not paying a mechanic, and that also helps me pay off school right now. And then the last object that I decided to bring in is the bag itself. This is a bag that I've had for a long time, and I actually bring this to a lot of the places that I've been to. Growing up, I didn't really travel to a lot of different places. I mostly just went to Mexico to visit my grandmother and my grandfather with my parents. But over the last 2 years, I've been able to travel quite a bit more than I ever have before. I've taken this backpack to Arizona, and I got to see the Grand Canyon. I've also taken it to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, which is actually tying back to the dinosaurs and the nature, is where I got this megalodon fossil. And I've also taken it to Oregon and Florida as well. I believe I might have already said that. Otherwise though, that's pretty much everything about me in a bag, and I hope that you guys maybe learned something new about me. Otherwise, I just want to thank you guys again for being here.